breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Dignitas is not the best team in the world on cobblestone. Apparently, it's a Russian national team.
Yep.
16-8 in favor of Russia against Turkey. Turkey just had a slow response to what Russia did to them. Obviously, it was a trap.
Yeah, Russia destroyed Turkey on that T side. No, honestly, getting 12 rounds on T side. Yeah, Cobble nowadays it's T sided, but when you get only 3, it's really hard to come back. I mean, as soon as the game started, Russia started leading, what, 5-6-0, 7-1 at one point.
7-1, I think.
Yeah, and
it was a reset. The economy was ruined.
Yeah, and I needed
Turkey.
to check. One time the Gambit and Space Soldiers played, it was on Cobble, and Gambit won 16-4. And although this is not Gambit and Space Soldiers, the mastermind behind it all is there, Hooch, and I mean, they basically destroyed
we heard
it looked like that.
We heard the reaction from Hooch when Turkey decided to ban that train.
Yeah.
And Hooch was like, yes, cobblestone.
Yeah. He just waited to ride that cobble, and I mean, looking now back at that video, like you could see that he was
Dignitas, no. Cobblestone, no.
Yeah, cobblestone. You could see
they should put up a show match between Russia and Dignitas.
Dignitas, just for Dushan's sake.
How would that work?
Yeah.
How would it not?
I mean, one's a mix and one's a team that's been practicing.
But I mean, look at it.
But look at what? There's no
It
Denmark
seems like
on the
they're
map.
good at it. It seems like they're good at it. And you said Dignitas is the best team on cobblestone.
No,
in the world.
In the world,
I said in the world.
Exact.
Yeah, my mistake. I meant.
But they have a world edit, so if he edits the world, Russia is better on cobblestone.
Okay, jokes aside, I honestly think that Dignitas is one of the best teams in Denmark on that map. And talking about Turkey versus Russia, they got played. Straight up, they got played. Like they ran right into that trap that Russia was planning for them. And I mean, leaving up the train and Kabul, everyone would say immediately just ban the train for Russia and just play that safe map like Kabul. And we saw what that safe map for Turkey did.
Honestly, just all went Russia's way on the T side. They won the
They were so dominant.
Yeah, they won the pistol round, won the first full buy round, won the 5th round where Turkey is supposed to have like the best buy they'll have. They win that one. Then Turkey wins one. They get completely reset because only one guy stays alive, and nothing went their way. And once that Turkey won that one round, I think Russia just changed the pace, started playing much slower, and that also got them results. And like I said, winning 12 at the end, just a great T-half for Russia. Even though they lost the second pistol round, they were able even to win the last one on just pistols. So great play by Russia.
Who would you pick for the man of the match here in the Russian team?
You mentioned it in a joke, but World Edit is one of the standout characters.
Yeah, he had some great picks.
Yeah, I mean, I said it in the pre-match. Like his all play is really world class, and I mean, he really stepped up for his team. He got some nice picks, as you said, and overall, he played a dominant role in this win.
Yeah, even though one of the 3 rounds that they lost on the T side was that 1v1 clutch, he lost. He was an important factor in the 12 they won. And I definitely agree, he's our man of the match.
Yep, for Turkey, basically if they lose the next match, there is no turning point. Do you expect to see Tarek in the next match?
No.
I mean, since you mentioned.
No.
I think he's in the roster, but he's supposed to play only if they get to the LAN. I think that's the plan, but I'm not sure.
I mean, he really, maybe before his addition to Opti Gaming, maybe we could have seen him, who knows, but now he has obligations to his team. Like, it's not easy to just walk away from practice, from matches and everything to, I mean, it would be nice, but unfortunately.
But just looking at him, I mean, on the major, you always see him with the Turkish, that scarf he wears.
Yeah.
He's really proud.
You just mentioned actually that obligations towards your team and your obligation towards your country, your flag, your anthem. Are we getting there when we compare it to, for example, I don't know, football or basketball? You know that feeling when you play for your nation. and defend
If
your
you, if you look at some
flag.
if you look at some countries, and that's Poland, that's Russia, that's France,
Argentina.
Argentina especially, and even Ukraine. I mean, they kind of tried to bring their best.
They did actually.
Yeah.
Something wasn't working, but they did.
And I think going forward, I'm expecting more teams to. I'm expecting more teams to bring their best teams, and yeah, as you said, like it's really a proud moment playing for your country, or I just hope so. It is for them. I mean, we're seeing better and better players playing every year.
Yeah, and we've seen Fallen saying
Yeah,
next year there won't be a mistake again.
We can't. We have obligations at the date. I'm playing even with 400 ping,
Yeah.
so like you just see that passion for the game and passion for to represent
That's
your
the
country.
spirit.
Yeah.
That's the spirit. Okay, moving on to the second match in Group B, Belgium versus Iceland. Straight away, your thoughts.
Yeah, this could be also the interesting one. Belgium definitely a favorite, but Iceland, as I said, I really enjoyed watching them in the qualifying round too, and I wouldn't be surprised if they surprise Belgium here, or even maybe Russia or Turkey. I mean, I think they got it in them to surprise one of the three teams. I don't see them getting all the way out of the groups, but I could see some interesting maps played out from Iceland.
Out of Belgium, Iceland, and Turkey, who do you think can be that second team that will go out of the group?
Yeah, I have to stick with Turkey. I mean, I said that they are top two in this group, and I still think they are. This performance against Russia, yeah, they really did have a poor performance, but that goes to show how Russia was dominant in this match. And I'm still sticking with Turkey as that second team in the group, and I just, yeah. Honestly, they're just the best, and they have the best players. I mean, looking at Belgium, yeah, they have existence. They can bring.
Let's just
Scream.
go with the lineup of Belgium.
Okay,
Let's
yeah.
see who plays for
Well,
Belgium.
Belgium, unfortunately, Scream and NPK are not playing today, but
Yep.
still a good enough lineup. They have David P, they have UU, Toino, Existence, and Faris. Yeah. I think NPK is not playing, but
He is.
No, is that a different info? Yeah, maybe this is just a mistake here. But
I'm not sure. But
I think he's not playing. Maybe we'll get an info soon.
we'll get an info soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, the man that stands out, that's existent, the mastermind behind all of those LDLC and before that, what was it? Very Games. Okay,
Oh.
this is the. So who's not playing? That's to.
So this is a definite lineup of Belgium, as we just
Sorry,
heard.
David.
So
David,
probably
David P
something
is not
has
playing.
changed in the last minutes. Okay.
Yeah, probably a last minute change. I think
A good thing for Belgium,
Yeah, and
definitely.
I think that's an upgrade. I mean, having NPK in the team instead of David can be an upgrade, and I think it is. We see here two players from LDLC, Toinu and Existence. As I said, Existence Mastermind, really good in-game leader that controls everything. Like he's the type of in-game leader that wants his players to be at the exact positions, and he's basically controlling all of it and not leaving something up to his lurker or anything. He's just controlling everything. So a good in-game leading style. I think he's the best at it. But I mean, that's the best style if you're playing with a team like this, where like you don't maybe have the practice that you need, but you can control everyone, and having that leadership role that he has for sure. I think all of his teammates will listen to him, and we will maybe.
Do we have in this lineup, in this squad, that I would say striker, but heavy aimer that can lead them to the win?
Toinu?
As long,
Toinu is an upper. He could definitely do
Yeah.
some damage. I mean, Existence in himself, he's not like
Yeah.
I mean, in tier 1, he's definitely one of the weaker players. But like, you know, all in all, I wouldn't say he's a bad player.
No, of
you
course
know,
not.
Definitely not.
far from it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Considering the in-game leading that Dusan mentioned, I mean, yeah, I would definitely agree he's one of the best in-game leaders in the world. Although I would say that meta of heavy in-game leading, controlling, not really letting your players go on a hunch, you know, try and make some play. I think that style of play is gone.
Yeah, it's a little
For
bit
a while
rusty.
now.
It's old. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, ever since like Fnatic, okay, well now they brought back the whole thing with Pronax and so on, but ever since they brought in Dennis, I think that heavy in-game leading meta was pretty much done and dusted. I think MVS were probably the first ones because Happy was always kind of that
Lurker.
in-game leader slash lurker. He was always in the game. And then Fnatic got to it. And of course, teams still have in-game leaders. That's always going to be a thing. But just that style of in-game leading that Existence has, just tight control, everyone needs to listen, everyone needs to follow what I say. I think that's long gone.
Yeah, I don't want to give anything away, but you just mentioned a couple of names that we'll be watching tomorrow for one of the best teams there. But let's just leave it that way. Sorry?
No, never mind.
Okay, never mind, I guess. Moving on to the lineup of Iceland. Iceland coming from the second qualifying stage. Let's see the lineup today.
Yeah, for Iceland, the same lineup they had in the second round. It's going to be Bondi, Capping, Cruiser, Odge, and Ali. And I gotta say, I was really surprised by Iceland. Bondi with the AWP hitting some pretty good shots, and yeah, I think he top fragged in both maps they won against against Slovenia. But the player I'm really surprised by is Capping. I mean, his timings, his game sense is through the roof, or at least was through the roof in that matchup against Slovenia. He always had the correct, just the correct read, when to push, where to get info, when to do it. Just getting, I would argue that in those two maps that they won, and even in the one they lost, since it was 2-1, I would say he won them single-handedly like 15 rounds.
Yeah. Okay, going straight to the video process as the game is about to start. Let's see which map will be played.
Yeah, Iceland, one of the teams that always goes for the standard ones, for the Mirage and Mirages and Caches.
I mean, they played. They played against Slovenia Mirage, Dastu, and Cache. So there it goes. But
and they're gonna ban out Cobblestone.
Okay.
Let's see. I mean, in pretty much all the matches today, we had one team that bans those three maps. So will Belgium stick to it? So far, Belgium.
I think Belgium wants to play Dastu. I don't know why, but I have a hunch.
So like Nuke will be oh my god, I'm psychic.
Yeah, Iceland banning Cobble, banning Nuke. You could figure
I'd say
out
Cache.
Their next ban is either Overpass or Train.
I'll say the next ban will be Cache by Belgium.
Okay.
Could be. I'm talking about Iceland. They're gonna, They're banning out Train.
I lost my touch. Yeah.
They're banning out Train. I'm pretty convinced into that.
You sure?
Okay.
There you go.
Dastu ban from Iceland, so it leaves Train and Cache, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
And
Cache.
it's going to be Cache. Well, it's fair. We saw Mirage twice,
Cache
Cobble
and
and Cache.
yeah. Cobble and Cache. Okay.
Good mix.
Okay, so based on this map, who do you think will win here? Who do you favor?
I'm favoring Belgium just because of those players that we mentioned. Even though Palibondi and, as he said, Capping really played good, I'm sticking with Belgium and going for 16-12.
Yeah, the Belgium kind of has stronger names on the paper, I might say, but we've seen some pretty good team play out of Iceland.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I would even agree that Belgium is favored here, but in this one, I'm gonna go with the underdog.
Oh, I like that. And in the exact results,
I'm gonna say
let's play
16-11.
16-11 in favor of Iceland. Just to clarify,
16-12 for Belgium.
16-12 for Belgium. Okay, I think we're about ready. The match between Belgium and Iceland is about to start. Map will be Cache. You heard our analysts, but let's see what our casters, lovely casters, have to say. Megaman and Scrawny, let's go, boys.
Alrighty, thanks once again, George. What do you think, Scrawny? What's your take on this one?
My take is that last game, I just want it for the record that I was the only person who chose Russia to win that, and that I was only 2 rounds off. And this time, I'm going to agree with Soich. 16-11 sounds beautiful to me. Iceland looked fantastic in the game we watched them play last week. Belgium has absolute star players. That's undeniable. They're incredibly talented. But what I saw as a unit, that team cohesion from Iceland, I believe.
All right, well, we'll get an opportunity to see that here as we move forward into this pistol round.
Look at that. Utility-heavy Existence. Going to be grabbing that smoke double flash. Of course, he is the in-game leader. one can assume, and then therefore the playmaker. Going immediately in towards this B site. It's going to be up to Capping to hold it. He's going to land that first clean shot, taking down Ferris, but tagged back in return. Belgium doing a very good job of isolating him from behind that back box. But Cruiser already inside of the vents has eyes on Twanu, and the shot lands, but traded back by Existence to keep it into the 3v3. Palabondi and Otts both isolated up here towards Heaven. Again, they trade back, so this one incredibly close as we hit the 2v2 with the bomb down. Both players for Belgium isolated on this site.
Yeah, NPK in a decent angle here, looking for this push to come around through. Might have spotted the gun barrel, so they know that that push is coming in that direction, but Odds is going to be able to land the one. It's down to UU in a 1 versus 1, and Odds is going to be able to finish him off with the kit in hand. And that will be the round in the favor of Iceland to start things off. And a strong CT side can pay dividends hugely down the road. So Iceland is going to have the advantage economically and utility-wise moving forward. We shouldn't see a buy from Belgium as they can now formulate a third round buy. Whoa. All right. Lying out of my ass. That is going to be an interesting buy here.
That's all
They're
right.
going to go for an AK and a Galil, upgrade some pistols. UU's going to be on a Glock.
Yes.
Looked like he was looking for a dropped pistol, but it doesn't look like there is anything. And they've actually got decent utility behind this buy, too. Oh, he
There it
does
is.
have a Tech 9. Okay. So this
But,
is
yeah.
a little spurious for the Iceland side. 'Cause they're not going to be expecting this at all.
And already Belgium's done a very good job of actually keeping themselves back. Sure, okay, they've expended some utility, but look at this. You see it. The player with the Glock, Twanu, he switches to his Glock. Excuse me, the player with the Galil switches to his Glock to just fire off pistol shots. They're trying to create this aura of illusion and Existence with the AK. He's now going to reveal the play. Palabond is the first casualty, and now immediately Iceland are trying to react to this as they have lost one player. Capping brings it back with an aggression in towards that B main. You see Cruiser trying to get aggressive inside A main as well, so taking the fight straight to the Belgian side. Iceland doing great on this A site. Nice hold thus far, 4v2. It's only the two riflers now left standing. Belgium down to just Existence, a talented player, an intelligent player, but is he good enough to clutch the 1v4? He'll find the first as Ali drops, but Ott's able to return it back. And that was Belgium at least trying to get tricky, but that force buy not paying out. And now they're going to have to wait till at least that round 4 buy because the round 3 AK Dream is dead.
That's okay, though.
Yeah,
I like
it's
the-
a
I
standard,
like the risk.
standard 4-round buy.
Yeah, and I really like the risk that they took on that one, trying to go for the force up. Could have worked out huge in their favor. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. And actually, the AK gets salvaged over onto the CT side. That's going to be in the hands of Ali into this round. So, a nice little swap there. Not going to be on an M4. Going to be on that upgraded AK, something that they probably favor more so than the stock rifles for the CT side. We are going to see a quick burst out in towards this B-bomb site with a flash from Existence into A main, and the flash is getting ready to get thrown here in a second as that Molotov fades. Existence going to line up for the flash. And towards quad, and in comes the push.
That flash over, not blinding. Very good chance to connects. Only a few, however. So that's a 3-1 engagement favoring the side of Belgium. The bomb plant also now secured, and 2 rifles currently in hand. One of which, of course, in the hands of UU, who only has 2 points of health. NPK incredibly lit as well in this situation. So Capping and Otts are definitely tasked with a difficult task. Easy one with nades like that. UU cleared out. Now it's 2v3, but Capping not checking corners. That's not going to pay out in their favor. And Belgium, even though they lost the round they buy into, they come out on top of this one using only that flash and a few pistols. Very nice burst into the site. Unfortunately for Iceland, the spray down from Ali not connecting from the back of quad. He takes down one player and then tags up the man who dies to the frag grenade. But he very well could have connected to 3 or 4 there. Unfortunate series of events is going to be giving Belgium their first point.
Yeah, that's a bit of a bummer if you're a fan of Iceland in this matchup, because that was 2 P250s and 3 Glocks that won the round right there. And I don't know if you saw it, but UU was stuck at quad. Right before he got naded, he actually launched a flash out from the backside of quad box and blinded the one player that was coming up from truck, which forced Capping into a 1 versus 1 in the site. So
Yeah.
if that flash doesn't get thrown, that outcome of that round could have been completely different. But he gets that flash out. And exactly like Gummy Sig 97 said in chat, Glocks!
Too classic. Also, 5-7s making appearances. Odds grabs 1 frag. That's at least going to be a single casualty on the side of the Belgian squad. But they'll push forward, and they will find nothing but success thus far. So, again, they have lost 1 weapon, but it's not all too much. And then Ali, of course, sitting on a CZ armored flash. She could very well trade frag Oh my lord, what a clean headshot. That's going to take down Existence. That's going to open up a weapon. You can see him trying to close the distance in order to procure said weapon, but Twanu, he will deny that entirely. No weapon for you, sir, and no round either. Belgium now already tying this one up early at 2. And again, that round 3, it's so unexpected. It should have never happened. And now it has incredible ramifications. We see Belgium sitting on 2 rounds. We see the economy for Iceland completely destroyed. What could have been a 3-0 start for Iceland heading forward into the gun rounds is now turned into a 2-2, and they're saving. Heartbreaking stuff thus far.
We lose to Glocks. But Iceland did go for the force in the last round. You saw they had the AWP on, I believe it was Ali or Capping. And then they had pistol armor on the rest of the players. So this is going to be a much more vanilla style round. They've got a P2000 in the hands of Cruiser. P250's upgraded for 3 out of the 5 players. And then you've got a Odds, who's going to be sitting on just the USP. They're going to try to get something going over here at this A bomb site with this stack. That's getting cleaned out. Existence with 2. Ferris is going to find 1 as well as Twano. And that is going to be a pretty clean round here for the T side. So again, they start to stabilize their economy. And if this is the Existence that's going to show up in this matchup, this is going to get a little bit scary for Iceland. Because he is hitting shots right now.
Capping bringing it back at least with 1, though. Ferris is going to be dropping his weapon, but now at this point he's known and he's being gunned down. MBK to pick up the pace, and that round, incredibly well done, as you mentioned, by Existence. He's on fire right now. He's the tactical mind behind this team, and ever since he's been kind of down in LDLC with that lineup that's been trying to work for the last few months, he's actually been assuming this role of fragger. Most of the games that LDLC have won, it's because he's top fragging, and at the same time as calling. That's the scary thing. He's just a whole
he's
package.
Been popping off.
And he's just been playing huge. And in that round, he manages to work his way in towards mid, uncontested, up highway, towards the A site. You see, of course, Belgium falling back from the A main to give a bit of presence, and then they collapse down upon it once he finds the first kill. This round, however, it's NPK to find a bit of an opening over towards the B site. And again, the second it happens, they disengage from that commitment. Existence now in towards the mid garage, looking to find the drop onto Cruiser, laying down some utility with the support of UU up on boost, who actually finds the pick instead. It is the defensive Iceland already starting to fall to pieces here. Palabonde is going to be the last man in towards mid, but you can see how intimidated and scared he is of peeking the Z connector, not wanting to give his life up as Belgium once again works their way forward. But they're doing a good job of not being overzealous. They wait momentarily here as there is still a minute to play with, and they're just waiting for any sort of reaction to be elicited from Iceland. But as of yet, it is nothing other than the B site stack, with Capping supporting from Truck with eyes on A. Again, entirely in the hands of Belgium. Both teams are waiting for their opponent to do something so that they can react. And in this point, eventually, it will be Belgium who has to make the play. Currently, at this point, if they go towards A, which I am expecting, this should be another round with ease.
Yeah, they've got mid control. They've got A control through main and squeaky door. You just saw smoke come out in towards the Z hallway. So they're going to start making their move over towards the A bomb site. They're just going to leave a lurker here in mid as the other 4 hit towards that A bomb site. So at this point, when the ICQ comes in, I mean, Ali's going to be calling for this right now. The rotation is a little lackadaisical off of the CT side, and it looks like they're actually just going to yield this round. Stefano gets spotted over by Forklift, but now you can see the fallback coming from Iceland. And Ali's going to join his teammate, or at least attempt to. Ferris doing a great deal of damage. And for some reason, when I first read his name, I thought it said Bartz.
I guess I can see it. You're only missing a horizontal line.
Yeah. I've been sleep deprived, man. Legion just came out for a while last night on the EU servers. I think it's just now coming out for NA servers, and I was like grinding it all night. Sleepy.
Sleepy
Totally
was
worth.
still awake, still here.
Totally
still
worth
in it.
This flashbang, though, look out. Capping's going to be able to find Existence, but they don't realize the Ferris is right around the corner here. They will finally find him. Palabonde's going to be able to finish him off, and they will keep all 3 of these CTs alive in this situation to carry over 3 rifles. They should be able to drop and reinvest. You can see Palabonde's got money to drop. You've got money on Capping to drop. So I see a FAMAS come out. Another M4 is getting picked up. So you will have a buy, and it's not going to be a bad buy either. You've got 3 players that have decent utility behind it. Capping's the only one that really doesn't. Palabonding down to an incendiary, but we've got most of what they want into this round. 2 kits.
Now, here's one thing, right? starting off on the CT side really sets the pace to Belgium on the terrorist side, and thus far they've been really taking the fight straight to Iceland. They've been going for kind of these teamwork-based executes in one portion of the map and then waiting and responding. If they're not committing straight out the gates, then that's exactly what they do, is they just kind of take one piece of the puzzle, they sit with it, they see where they can go, and then Iceland has yet to be able to react from those situations. So Iceland needs to find themselves in an early advantage, or at least the initial advantage, in order to really cement their presence and then cement the round. Capping has to be cautious, and that's a very nice pop flash coming in from the site. Very nice teamwork between Otz and Capping to net that first frag. This is the advantage, of course, I was just speaking of. Capping has to be cautious as he does continue to repeat this angle, and already we have Twanu with that Yu with the op trained down upon him. The Molotovs may just force his hand, or he'll have a little islands of sanctuary in the middle of the two fire grenades. He's lucky that didn't spread to his demise, but the frag grenade's still dealing more damage as fire burns all around him. He is in Dante's Inferno. There's just so many nades, and even though he falls back right into the crosshairs of an opponent, he is tagged, but still alive. Capping, again, will now be smoked, so his positioning has just been isolated by utility. They force him all the way back. Otz does find one more. Twanu trading back, and now the rotation from Iceland out towards the B site, where the bomb seems to be committing. Otz is behind the standard plant, and Ferris, clearing out mid, is doing a good job of having presence elsewhere, but the bomb is yet to be on the site. 15 seconds left. Belgium, very tough spot.
Yeah, this position from Existence can be lethal. He's going to be able to find one, but they pinch at the long run, and Iceland will be able to pick up the round. So it comes from Odds at that B-bomb site. He gets 4 frags out of that. He's 11-4. He's leading the server right now as far as kills are concerned. This team is still lagging behind a little bit here at a 3-4 deficit. So, and again, I mean, that's kind of an expensive round. You see the reinvestment come out. Yuyu's going to have the AWP, which is kind of curious because I know that Twano is the primary AWPer for LDLC. I know Existence picks it up from time to time, but usually in a secondary role. So it's kind of curious to see Yuyu pick it up, but maybe he's just a little bit more comfortable on this map with it. That's one of the things that we see as far as like the North American scene with Optic Gaming. I know that on Cobblestone, you'll typically see Mixwell up on the CT side, but then Nafly will up on the terrorist side. So that might be something that we see. Yuyu might be the AWPer on the T side, and then Twano, based off a position that they play when they switch over to the CT side, he might be picking up the AWP, maybe for A, maybe for mid, maybe for aggressive peaks over B. We'll have to see how that ends up out here later on. Pretty telegraphed hit towards the A bomb site, at least from starters, to try to pull the rotations over, and it does actually succeed in pulling the mid player over towards A. If they go for that mid play later on, they might be able to fight it, but Ali taking a lot of damage from that Molotov spam down to 6 HP. The nade almost finishes him off. So he's down to 2 now. But for the time being, it is going to be a bit of a stalemate with the man disadvantage here for the Belgian side.
Belgium has been giving a lot of time now to Yuyu to try to find this opening pick into the A site, but he hasn't been actually presented any sort of opportunity. Iceland doing a very good job of not giving up the angle towards A main, instead using Palabonde to spot it. And there's the op shot to connect. Cruiser as well from the back of Forklift, deny the opper on the side of Belgium. 2v5 now, a difficult task on the side of the Belgian squad, but they do continue to push on forward. NPK from mid, finding a bit of presence as Existence does clear out the player Fork. This leaves Ali now alone on A and incredibly tagged with only 2 points of health. He will have to be cautious as Existence does need to commit to this. There's only 15 seconds, so if he's able to just drop that bomb carrier, then it will force the player from A main to try to cross. That's exactly what happens. Palabonde lands the shot. Very nice op support coming in from him using that truck positioning. He clears 2 frags on the entry, and Belgium not picking up a very fast round, but instead, again, as I mentioned, lending time to Yuyu trying to find an opening op shot. That op shot never happens. It gets to the point where they have to execute, and they execute into an unfavorable position, costing them the round, costing them the lead, and putting Iceland back into the tied 4-4.
Yeah, now we see a very fast push coming out from the Belgian side. They're going to go straight through the Molotov. It's Capping and Odds to shut this one down for the time being, but Yuyu does answer back. That is a great dunk nade. Camping's going to find tremendous damage on a Twano, as well as find the frag onto Yuyu, but they're doing some damage in return. Palabondi's got to be careful. The smoke comes out. They're going to go for the cross, but there's already a player in checkers. That player's going to get caught. 1 HP left for Twano, but they get an AK into the hands of Existence. They've got armor behind this as well. And that's a little bit unfortunate. Existence, the high HP player, goes for a play around the smoke, as that smoke into CT spawn was actually off the mark, and it's going to give vision for Palabonde, who does land the shot. If he drops there, Palabonde, that round could have been very, very different, but a nice recovery from Iceland. They get 3 rounds in a row now to answer back on Belgium's 4, and they regain their lead of 5-4.
Palabonde with more mid presence, and I think the nades, the utility currently. Iceland is at the point where they're able to now afford anything they could ask for, and that's exactly what they needed, because the CT side of Cash does favor these nades. I've been taught this by the beloved Bach. He has a very convincing argument as for why sometimes CT's halves start late here on Cash, and I think this is one of those examples. Now, Belgium has done an incredible job at taking down the first 2 frags. Somehow, some way, off the back of these pistols, they've been able to find 2 frags and grab 1 weapon. Now, that's at least the silver lining here for Iceland, is that second rifle has yet to been acquired. Only 1 to deal with, but the numbers advantage currently for the side of Belgium is what makes this situation scary. Having no armor, however, is then again their downfall. When they do decide to execute off of this man advantage, you have to remember that Iceland is still incredibly heavily favored, having both the benefit of not dealing with aim punch, then again, of course, already holding their angles, and then, of course, again, dealing with deagles. So it's only a matter of time, in my opinion, before Iceland does start to piece this back piece by piece, unless, of course, Belgium can use themselves as one congregated unit to open up into a site and confirm the bomb plant, which, even in this situation, would be a great outcome.
Oh, the timing on Palabonde, he actually switches off of the angle right at the wrong time, and he actually goes down to 1 HP. There is a player in the Z hallway trying to do damage. Existence going to whip the bullets, and he is going to get caught by odds, so this does get answered back. Twano trying to do some work from Speak Door is going to get taken down, and that's going to leave it all on NPK, who has gotten into this B bomb site. So, silver lining much? Maybe a bomb plan? If he can isolate odds and take him down, that would be nice. But he can't, so doesn't even get the bomb plan out of it. That's going to be a 6th round for Iceland. So, from a 5-on-2 to a 3-on-1, they answer the call, they bring it back, and Iceland are going to be able to take that round. So, starting to look a little bit more productive here on their CT side as they get 4 rounds in a row.
Yeah, and I mean, generally that round, even though they do go down 2 players, Iceland is in the sort of situation where throughout the course of the round, if they had won in the end with 3 players up, that was going to be a good outcome. It just so happens that they lose their players in the first few seconds of the rounds, as opposed to when the site take comes through. What that leaves Belgium in is a situation where they have the man advantage, but then again, they still have to execute to the site, right? Which is where we see them falter, it's where we see them fail. Shortcoming, 2 rounds up now for Iceland, as mentioned, and again, a nice turnaround of events. They've spreed together their 4 rounds, just as Belgium had done, and now it's up to Belgium to find this bit of a response. So again, it is Palabonde off the op, and he's playing inside of Z. There's just a very nice mid presence currently from Iceland, as they have 2 players here, because Ali is boosted up inside of the Shroud boost. So he can hold the A site alone for the time being, so long as Highway isn't lost. And with NPK picking up the kill towards Otz, we are going to see a bit of a rotation here from the Icelandic players. Giving up this mid presence is going to potentially be their downfall, because now Cruiser from Truck has no way of keeping Ali alive. Ali's position is fully exposed once the Highway player rounds the corner. Ali going to be able to actually near find the frag. Existence, again, missing a bit of an opportunity. He does find it in the end, but taken down to 24 points of health in return. It is the A site firmly in the hands of Belgium, and they're finding frags aplenty. Iceland out of this one, dropping out short. And I would argue because that opening pick allows them to take Highway control.
Yeah, 100% agree. Because I mean, you saw it immediately. As soon as that pick goes out, that player on Highway falls back to Truck side. The vision goes away in mid. They're able to creep Existence out. Now it was a sloppy spray, and he almost got capitalized on. And if Ali stays alive, maybe picks up a 2nd kill from that area. But that's not the case. Existence does end up getting the long spray battle, does end up winning that fight, and does end up getting that kill and opens up that A bomb site. So nice recovery from Belgium. They're going to get another round on the board. They've got the opportunity now to go into this one. They've got a double op setup. It's Yugu to find the opener with the AWP. Twano's got an op as well. And that's actually one of my favorite boosts to use, is Existence boosted up on Red Crate in the mid. He's going to be able to spot out a player at the top side, trying to get aggressive in middle.
Yep.
Finds that early pick. So it's a 2-man advantage here and make it 3 as NPK finds odds. And that will be a heavy swing in the favor of Belgium. So they were looking a little disheveled for a couple of rounds there, as you saw 4 go in a row for the Icelandic side. But after all is said and done, they do recover, and they are going to be able to potentially string another round on the board. And force a save.
Oh my god, capping from behind the checkers box. They never peeked it, they never cleared it, and he nails the timing to net them 2 frags. Ali also going to chime in with 1 more, and he's now been able to drop the bomb carrier and grab an op. With another frag, he takes it down to the 1v1 versus Existence. 34 points of health, working his way from B main. Ali can very well find this angle, but he has to be cautious that the barrel of the weapon doesn't give away his position. Existence currently just burning down the clock, playing this one with ice in his veins. 25 seconds, and again, the bomb down behind the standard plant. Ali up close. He could switch to the CZ, but he's committing to the op, and it will cost him his life. We saw him dancing between the back boxes and then that close, short corner. Ultimately, Existence finds the timing, the experience, the game sense. It all pans out. Belgium, yet again, tying it up, 6-6.
And you said it right, game sense. I mean, that's just veteran game sense right there. He slows it down immediately, makes him start sweating. Is he going to flank me from heaven? Is he going to flank me from A main? Is he in checkers? Is he going to come from B main? So many different angles, and that's why you saw there was not one moment in that Ali was comfortable.
He never stopped moving.
No, he never stopped moving, and that was the thing, is he had to guess so many times on where these players are coming from. And this time around, it's going to be Yu on the AK, Toano on the op. And those two are going to be able to shut down that early A main aggression. One more to meet over here at Forklift. Ooh, Toano. Oh! All right. Bye-bye! See you later, Odds. Going to get just no scope to the face. A golden opportunity for him to drop the opper, but not able to capitalize on that. And again, I mean, we talk about frag distribution a lot when we do casting for matches. And, you know, typically a team that frags together wins together. And you can see that. I mean, 6 kills separating top to bottom on the Belgian side, 13 at the top for Existence, 7 at the bottom for Paris. But the rest of them are all up there in the mix. 9 kills for MPK, 9 kills for UU. Twano, it's sitting at 10. And on the other side, you've got 14 on Odds and 5 on Cruiser. 9 kills the difference. That's a pretty big spectrum change there.
And not only talking about the fact that their team is fragging together, but I don't know if you noticed that in the previous round, Mega Man. When that A push came in from Iceland, off of the pop flash, there was actually a perfectly timed wallbang from Ferris through the back wall of A main. So the players pushing through that opening are being tagged out from the side. That pulls their attention. They think there's somebody who has managed to actually cross, but instead they're just getting shot through the wall. That's when the player from behind the box in A main peeks out. What a fantastic play. I have never actually seen that done with an AK in a reaction to a play thrown to them by Iceland. So they read the situation, they were in the right spots to deal with it, and then it works out fantastically. So really, really sick play that I personally had never been introduced to. That was a really dope crossfire.
Well, typically speaking, you can't actually line up an op shot to the left side of red box from there, and the op will, you know, do some substantial damage. Like, you can actually wall quad from Squeaky with an op. The AK doesn't hardly do any damage, but it's like you said, it does make a lot of noise. So, and if you get tagged up from a side angle, you're going to see where this hit impact indicator shows you on your screen. And yeah, it's just good for dropping them. This round, however, has come down into a 1 versus 2. Cruiser, well, you don't need to peek. Your teammate's not in a position to refrag. And with 17 seconds, he's going to work this. Capping is in a little bit of a tricky situation. Smoke goes out. Bomb should get planted here. Capping could push forward through this one, and he is. Will he get the gun out in time? He will, but unfortunately not able to get that frag. So we will see Iceland tie it up again, 7-7. And it's still up in the air who's going to take the advantage into the second half.
That's an unfortunate series of events there for Twan Yu in the clutch, because right before he goes for the bomb plant, with only 15 seconds left, you see him trying to actually find the frag when he peeks out towards highway, peeks out towards truck. Unfortunately for him, because he committed to the peek on truck, he didn't actually see the player close wall. So when he commits to the plant, he expects the push to, I believe, be from behind him. That's why he's looking into the wall of the things. And that's kind of unfortunate. Obviously, just very good timing play. Knowing the player had to commit to the bomb plant, knowing his positioning was unknown. Great clutch out from Iceland to keep, again, this game competitive. This is a map where you've seen it go either ways. You've seen strong T sides, strong CT sides. It really does come down to individual performances and individual days. But Ali with the first one off the back of the FAMAS over out towards the A site. That's going to put Belgium on the back foot already here with 1.5 minutes still to play with. Iceland looking good as Palabonde grabs the other frag. That's going to be now a 2-man advantage, and Belgium are going to have to find some sort of opening back into this. Now, what I'd like to see from Iceland is a very nice conservative play where they don't lose any players and don't give any opportunity to Belgium. But of course, Belgium are looking for the counter of that. They're looking to create a small bit of opening, crack the window of opportunity wide open, and explode to a site, which currently looks like A, as they all have started to put themselves in this direction. They will have aughts inside the vents for the side of Iceland, which is allowed now for capping to rotate up towards the A site. 3 players here for the defense as the commitment does begin to trickle through. Tuanu with the first one off of the op, but not traded back from capping. Yuyu going to be expanding the site control with another frag. Cruiser down, and suddenly Belgium, from the 3v5 to the 3v2, they have done wonders taking the site, and now it comes down to just holding it.
Yeah, and the big thing about this as well is there's no nades on the back of any of these CTs to flush out these players at quad. They're actually going to spot out Palabande, but he does get the shot on existence, so now he knows that there's 2 players over there by quad. Odds and Palabande retake with a FAMAS and an AWP versus an AK and an AWP. Tuano close up, going to find him. Clotheslines 1. He's got to get himself out of dodge now. He's going to walk right into the waiting arms of Odds, who does manage to finish this one off. And plenty of time for the defuse. So Iceland will take the advantage into the second half. Something that I didn't necessarily expect based off of the fact that Belgium was on the T side and existence, kind of the Belgian/French mastermind, coming up a little bit short on this half.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, though, Belgium, both teams really kind of had their success in sprees of success. There wasn't very kind of any isolated events, but rather when momentum was grabbed, at least for the smallest bit of momentum could be taken, they continued forward with it. The only outlier of that situation would be round number 3. Where, of course, we saw Belgium pick up a round they had no business winning. That allows for them to then spree together that 4 rounds early, and then again, you see it responded to by 4 rounds from Iceland. Finally, Belgium answers back with a round of 3, and then Iceland does the same to close out the last 2 of the game. So it's been a close match, and it comes down to being close in a matter of sprees. So, like, we saw Iceland just have a dominant performance at one point. Then we saw Belgium dominate them back. It's a very weird game, and that's what kind of scares me, is that I do truly believe that whoever could take the momentum in the second half is going to walk away with this victory. Iceland could definitely cement themselves on the T side. We've seen them close together with frags for the lesser part of the team, obviously having Otts being the outlier on the top frag at 17 and 10, but that trio between Tuanu, Existence, and Yuyu has been doing great wonders so far for Belgium, and I'm sure they'll be looking to replicate that on the defense. Those 3 players alone could carry them through, unless, of course, Otts has some kind of crazy, fantastic all-star performance and can continue this one-man show, essentially.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, the hero of the last round gets the 2K to close it out in the 1v2, finishes it off nicely, and gets the defuse to give his team at least the 8-7 lead going into the second half. One thing to bear in mind, though, is that Iceland won the opening pistol round, got the opening 2 rounds out of that, and then, like you said, lost that unlikely round, which would have been a 3rd round bye had Belgium not gone for that AK Galil mixed bye into that 2nd round. So it kind of, I mean, in one way or another, it worked out the way that it worked out. But, you know, we could have seen a rifle bye go from Belgium in round 3 instead of round 4. And instead of that Glock victory, we could have seen another reset.
Yep. We
could have seen more rounds for Iceland. There's a lot of what ifs involved in what happened in the opening half for this. But the big thing to note right now is the fact that Iceland has that opening lead. And the other side of this, too, is that this pistol round, you know, we always talk about the importance of the pistol round, getting out on the right foot. This one doesn't have as big of implications as we saw in, like, our last matchup, where it was like 12-3, halftime score, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah. So in this case, the pistol round helps, but it's not going to be the cementing factor. But
right.
Capping opening up the first frag, that's going to clear quad. Tuanu down and dusted before Yuyu and Existence trade back from 2 frags. Now, they gave up a bit of footing here on the A site, but not too much as they fall down to highway, and they're able to hold the line from there. So nice refragging going the way of Iceland, 2 down to 2. Yuyu trying to chime back with another frag onto Palabande. He'll do just that. It's up to Capping with the 2K in the round. He's looking for the 4K, but he's not going to be able to clutch it. Ferris with the headshot. Belgium with the round. And a very nice opening round here for Belgium in the pistol. So again, we mentioned, this is the kind of situation where the pistol helps. The pistol is definitely valuable, but it doesn't ensure or guarantee a victory or a loss for either side. Either team able to bounce back into this one. Now, Mega Man, when we watched Iceland versus Slovenia. It was Slovenia. Iceland versus Slovenia. We saw Capping do very good jobs at finding himself behind the enemy lines on train, if you recall. He had a very good game sense in getting behind the opponents and then dealing damage from the flank, dealing damage from the back lines, wherever it seemed the opponents weren't expecting them. I'm looking forward to maybe seeing that again here on Cash. You can see his playstyle. He's alone towards Squeaky, trying to get the attention towards him. Existence and Tuanu, however, are also in cheeky corners and are also going to be the factors of this victory. But moving forward, do you remember him? Do you remember him having that kind of success?
Yeah, and that was, we actually saw it on this map briefly in one round where he was back checker box on CT side and actually sprayed down 2 players, and they ultimately, that was the round that they ultimately ended up losing in a 1v1 when Ali came around and got the AWP, and Existence just outbrained him on that one.
Yeah.
But it was situations like that we saw a lot of times on train where it would be, a B execute, him late lurking on outside, trying to find the backstab through the Z hallway, or execute in towards the outside bomb site, and he's going to just late lurk on inside through Z hallway or flank CT spawn, something like that. So a lot of nice work from him, but we've only seen it once in this matchup. So interestingly enough, I mean, he is middle of the pack, 13-13 on the scoreboard, so it's not like he's not doing work into this matchup. It's just that we haven't seen the impact in rounds that we've seen in previous matchups from him.
It also not necessarily the impact, but also at the same time just not necessarily the same play style. I see him, at least thus far, going for a lot more kind of just straight up raw peaks, trying to take these gun duels, whereas opposed to other times we've seen him play, he relies on positioning and game sense. So I'm going to see if maybe that trend changes, but for the time being, this is a different Capping. Like you mentioned, it's still working out, but UU finding frags for Belgium will continue this lead. Is of course tagged back in the engagement from Vents, but that's a nice position to use for the mid control. It couples very nicely with Existence inside of the Z connector. Considering nobody on the side of Belgium have an op, that double rifle crossfire is incredibly useful. So nice initiative taken, and it pays off with another frag at that. Capping going to be blinded up. NPK with a beautiful pop flash, doing great work for the team. Now, Cruiser and Ali are going to be starting to combine their forces here towards the checkers, try to burst out into the B site with the frag to UU. This is going to get the ball rolling, but now it's up to both Ali and Cruiser to clear out the site. And currently, it is up to NPK to hold it. But NPK not expecting the player to come in from headshot. Both T's now onto the site with 5 seconds left. They'll secure the plant. Tuanu and Existence immediately picking up the pace, though, going for the gun duels. That almost doesn't fan out for them, but Tuanu able to secure it versus Cruiser, who comes off of the bomb plant with a gun in his face. Iceland getting the plant in, but not around. Belgium with another.
And I like that call, though, Belgium picking up the pieces. They know that they can isolate a 1v1 with a player on the bomb site that's not going to be planting the bomb. So they only really have to worry about one player with a gun in their face. So they get the trade. It goes positively in their favor. They get to defuse 10-8, and this is them off and rolling. We're going to see the reset. That was the 3rd round buy out of Iceland. It gets quelled. So now we're going to be seeing, Tech 9s, a couple of pieces of armor. Decent amount of utility, actually, here on the terrorist side. They've got 2 smokes and 4 flashes, so... Well, they just lost a smoke and a flash. That's a little bit of a mistake. They could use that utility.
Though. Immediately, Iceland trying to get into the site, and they will have a player onto the back line with an op in hand. Ali has done a very good job weapon with not only opening up the site, but then procuring the weapon. But NPK from behind the checkers boxes now. We saw Iceland catch them off guard with a player in here. This time it will be the other way around. Otts returning the favor towards the player who did rotate through vents, but NPK still manages to stay alive here. And he's going to be looking to deal more damage. They know where Ali's isolated. You see him run on out with the crosshair placement superbly placed. Dunley. NPK with another round, or rather, excuse me, Belgium with another round off the back of NPK. 4 kills in the round. Great job, even though it kind of does give up the B bomb site, him committing to being behind the checkers boxes. It pays out in the long run, which at this point, as we are now in the last 10 rounds of the game, is what truly matters. So Belgium now extending their lead by 3. They've had this spree of 4 rounds thus far on the CT side. It is going to be needing Iceland to respond, and they're running out of time to do it.
Yeah, the thing here is like letting them get that not that big of a deal because they know that they're coming into a buy round immediately afterwards. However, what is a big deal is Ferris getting shot in the face through mid garage down to 38, just walking right straight forward through the spam spot, and gets nailed down to 38. So that's a rough little start there. He's going to bide his time in the vents, but Ali over here does have a Molotov. I kind of expect to see him throw it in, but look at this positioning. The double.
Oh.
Capping, that's one of my favorite spots for anti-eco rounds on this map.
Beautiful.
Up on top of the
Sign.
stop sign or
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it out there. Yeah, I guess it is a stop sign, but stacked up on top of the sign all the way down. Beautiful shot from him, and he gets the double, takes them both out of the map, and that is a brilliant advantage for Iceland to start off this round.
Essentially, what makes that spot so powerful is that there's so many positions in a linear row lining up with that when the CT's round the corner, they should be looking elsewhere. And that's the crazy part. They should be looking elsewhere, and yet you still get the drop on them. So beautiful collateral to get the ball rolling. Existence is going to be trying his best to mitigate those losses as he does find a frag towards mid. Twanu as well, doing a good job of catching a player on the cross. Ali with the bomb has now managed to work himself into the standard plant as Cruiser does clear the flank. That's what's nice. Ferris had been coming in from A main. Ali not planting for that position is able to secure the bomb plant, and then they also frag the player there. Existence going to get boosted up, though. This is a nice little cheeky heads-up play. Cruiser trying to nail the timing, but Existence has already taken down the bomb carrier and a second. This is going to leave Capping down to the 1v2, and the bomb is not planted for him. So currently, there is a player sticking it. Twanu, he's going to get this defuse with ease. It's completely supported from Existence, and that is a huge play to boost up onto the red dumpster. Pays out massively. What a heads-up play. Congrats to them. Belgium taking that 4-round lead.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because it was so hectic on that A bomb site and Twano was still over there with that AWP. They had to go for the plan at default. They couldn't plan it for A main. They couldn't plan for Squeaky Door. So no matter how you slice it, Capping was going to be out of position regardless of the outcome of that round. Even if he rotates from Squeaky over to A main to try to get a better angle, he's just completely out of position no matter what. Can't stop the bomb defuse. Ends up going down. A little unfortunate because they had the 2-man advantage. Again, that was a 3v5 that gets answered back from the Belgian side, and it comes on a 4K from Existence. You saw it the round before where it was Yu, I believe, that was in back checker box. That was able to find 4, or was it Ferris? Or was it MPK?
I'm going to say Yu. Let's go with Yu.
Okay. we can do that. We'll give possible fake props to Yu on this one. The only reason I say that is because MPK is playing over the B-bomb site with another player this round. Ferris, though, gets wrecked in middle, but immediately rectified by Existence with a nice headshot there from the AK on the odds.
Emphasis on rectified. Yeah, right.
MPK is playing behind the back checker box again, so I'm assuming that was him that got the 4K.
Palbon is going to be a challenge.
Black Thatch called it out in chat.
Okay,
Existence and MPK back-to-back quad kills. So
Excellent.
There you go. Thank you for watching the game, because I obviously don't know what the hell is going on.
They read it this time. No replay value for you, NPK. You're dropped out in your attempt to do the spray, but Yu does land 2 shots, and I mean, that's going to be icing on the cake here as the B-bomb site is currently lost. Iceland going to be able to activate the bomb, use the Molotov to corner out Existence, but we've seen explosive retakes thus far from Belgium, so get ready for another one. Both players collecting themselves towards the bottom of tree have the smoke to deal with. Essentially, this is either going to burn off time from the clock, or maybe Existence even looking to fall back here. Are they going to save this one? I mean, after 5 consecutive wins, their money is in absolute shambles considering all things that have gone in their favor. But yeah, that's exactly it. They're going to call the save and fall off from this one.
Well, looking back at the last 3 rounds, they had round 18 with 1 player alive, round 19 with 2, and round 20 with 2. So that, again, I mean, that's 5 players alive out of a possible 15. So you've had 10 rifle rebuys in the last 3 rounds. Yeah, of course your economy is going to be in a bad spot. No matter how many rounds you win with that many casualties, you're going to be buying down every single round. So we will see them hang on to the AWP and the AK. We'll see if we can make a difference into this round. But that B take was pretty good, and unfortunately MPK pounced a little bit early from the back checker box. So he ends up losing that, not actually able to get a kill at all from that back checker position, which is kind of lackluster, all things considered, that there were 3 players in his face.
Open buy currently from Belgium. That's unfortunate for them, but they're going into the force here. And I mentioned how the CT side of Cash can really use these grenades, can really use smokes and Molotovs, and this time they're not going to have it, but they will have Twanu with an aggressive positioning off the AWP Cruiser. With a clean repeak, however, able to trade frag back. So that's a nice return, especially considering that the AWP was trained onto that angle. He goes for the wide peak, 1 taps the head, clean off. and actually causes a rotation now from Belgium. Their players mid that they did have emphasized close to the doors have now fallen on up. Of course, that's to acquire this AWP for Ferris, who then trades it off. So they've done a good job of getting that rifle back into their hand, considering, of course, that players were on pistols at the start of this round. It is still a 4v4, so numbers-wise, no man's advantage, but of course the weapons and utility currently in the favor of the T side, with the positioning from Palabonde on mid as well. A site could be taken, but if he's not careful, the vent peak could come his direction. Palabonde heads up. Yu, he's going to connect the shot, and that's a beautiful trade frag back, as well as he being able to grab the weapon for the retake. 3v3 though, 3v2. Existence doing good work at crossing the, or preventing the cross, but the bomb's gone down.
So the jump peeking from E-Box actually spots the player over by quads. They know that he's there, and Yu's going to get the angle. Existence going to finish it off. And another bomb plan comes out for Iceland, but it's Belgium on the retake once again on this force buy. And it ends up paying dividends for them. They're going to be able to get a 4-round lead, 13-9. Double op setup gets salvaged. A pause coming in, and this is going to be a tactical pause from Iceland. This is one of the crazy things to think about, too. Think about the last couple of maps that we've seen. We've watched 3 matches so far today. And 2 of them were pretty landslide opening halves, yeah?
Yeah.
Never saw a pause in those.
You're absolutely right.
There was never a pause in the French match. There was never a pause in the Danish-Dutch match. I don't think there was there a pause in the last one? I think there was a pause in the last match.
Yeah, Space Soldiers when they were being, or not,
Space,
not Space Soldiers, Turkey when they were getting
yeah, you're right.
Sliced up on CT side.
Yep, there was a pause that came out in that. So
it didn't
that
work.
It didn't. No, it didn't. It's most teams aren't old Fnatic where pauses usually mean that you come out and just win out from that point.
It's no 180s.
Yeah,
but
a little
at
bit
the
different.
same time, and here's the crazy thing is I don't think Iceland need a 180. You look at the look at the CT side
They're
so
very
far from
close on a
Belgium.
lot of these
They've
rounds.
won 6 of these rounds, but 5 of the 6 come from defuses. Bomb has been planted in every round but 1. Iceland have been doing very good jobs of getting to the site. It's holding on to them afterwards. And I mean, at first you could argue, okay, sure, Belgium are just getting that one little up and it's able to put rounds on the board. But the fact that they've been able to consecutively do that for so long now, consistency to me is a tell of just an advantage. And I think at this point, Belgium have the retakes understood. Iceland, unarguably, have a great job of getting to the site. They've been able to find opening picks on mid, B, and A site. But it's just the afterplants that have been going their ways. It's the crazy 3v3s that have just been going the way of Belgium. Iceland has been having nutty individual performances at the beginning of rounds in order to cement themselves then. But the issue is that when it comes down to the clutch moments, Belgium has been rooting them. Big plays for Existence, of course, on the A site that one time when they have the quad afterplant and capping gets isolated within Squeaky. That one, obviously, that prevents them from having a back-to-back consecutive round. It's all been going the way of Belgium when it comes to the late round, and that's ultimately where it matters when the game has gone to this point. Early on, sure, you can afford to make those mistakes, but when Belgium is now 3 points away from victory, enough is enough, Iceland. You need to solidify your rounds. You need to close them out.
And this is not the look that they were looking for. Twano, he's just a quad offer, man. Existence is going to be able to chime in with one on the cruiser. He's overextending himself a little bit, but that's all right because that's going to bait him into Ferris, who's playing from forklift. And this leaves it all on Ali. Pop flash into A main. Ali's going to take the duel, going to win that one against Ferris, but he's got a lot of work cut out. Yu now's in AWP, just watching towards that A main corridor. So this is going to be a very tall task for Ali to be able to clutch this one out, and this all happened within the first 20 seconds of the round. It's ridiculous. Flashbang towards middle. Ali trying to play a shuck and jive, going back around towards Squeaky Door, but there's still 2 players just holding on A.
And I don't necessarily like what Iceland threw at them that time. They take the pause. I see, okay, sure, they try to take the pace of the round quickly and head towards the A site, but the first 2 players who peek around the corner do so with no smoke grenade or anything else lined up to support. Existence will find the last one as Ali tries to come out from Squeaky and he is denied. But we see the quad opper from Ali. He grabs 2 picks, quad opper taking down Ali. He gets 2 picks. Yeah, he gets 2 picks before there's even before there's any utility employed. Obviously, the pop flash coming in from the counter terrorists kind of blinds up those initial first few players. But even then, they didn't plan on using utility. They tried to get to the site raw, and it costs them. 2 players at that. 3 players try to respond. How? by then throwing out grenades and securing the cross. But at this point, you're 2 players down, and the rotation from Belgium is already on its way. They run into a fully stacked site, and then 2 more players drop out. 1 versus 3 is never going to be won, but at least it shouldn't be. Iceland, I would say, misplaying the pause and giving Belgium a 14th round, looking to take it to the B site. They are finding some success with pistol frags aplenty, but existence off the 2 spray, burning alive inside the vents. 1v2 favoring Iceland. But can they get this bomb down? Yes. Retake inbound.
I thought for sure that Odds heard the fire spread far enough that it actually tagged him. That nade almost on the mark. This molly will finish him. Maybe not. Is he gonna spread?
Oh my lord.
It was so close. All right. Well, screw it, Ali. They're gonna win the eco round. So they go into that one with very limited firepower, and they're gonna be able to steal that one away. So almost reminiscent of what happened early in the 3rd round of this matchup when Belgium was on 3 Glocks and 2 P250s and managed to steal a round away. This time around, though, it's Ferris and Existence on pistols to find 2. Toineau with 2. And this round got flipped, turned upside down. I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there, tell you how I became the freshest Prince of Bel-Air.
This
Nice.
is going to sound harsh, but Iceland literally just threw the game. You're versus opponents who have already struggled to rebuy multiple times. You find the win in the round before, and then your response after that. Now remember, this is a team who just took a tactical pause, a team who's supposed to be thinking. They run through mid and charge 3 players through not only the smoke on the door, but then the wall of smokes. That allows Ferris to close the distance with the 5-7. He grabs the frag and the bomb carrier, who is left alone unprotected. Iceland trying to push the envelope when they had no business playing so risky. They could have taken that one slowly. They had the weapon advantage. They had the utility advantage. It quite clearly doesn't pay out, and I would argue now at this point costs them the game. Belgium looking really good with this purchase. The buy of Iceland incredibly weak. Their chance was last round, and they gave it away.
And again, here you go. UU's going to be able to find 2 in this round. Capping gets a little bit of a saving grace to take him down, but the retake is already on this bomb site, and Ali gets 1 parting gift before it's all said and done. And Belgium are going to be able to take this 16-10. It was almost that 16-11 prediction that you guys had called for Iceland, only flip-flopped, but it does go the way of Belgium.
Damn. I mean, I think there was a very real opportunity with the outcome of round 24 when they do get that round onto the B site. Now, granted, mind you, let's argue for argument's sake that they don't deserve the round, that they shouldn't have won that round. Then losing the next one in such a fashion has no real impact. But either way, a glaring mistake.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a mistake there from them. But we're not analysts. We're casters. So
That's
we're going to
true.
throw it over to the analysts, and we're going to let them break that down for you guys. So 16-10, Belgium. I think all of the favorites ended up winning their matches today. Russia, Belgium, Denmark, and France.
Yeah, as
Send it
expected.
on over to our main man, George, so that they can break that down, and I don't have to make fun of them anymore.
Well, Mega Man, I think you can always find a reason and a way to make fun of us, and that's quite all right. But let's stick to the CSGO. Belgium won against Iceland 16-10. It was so close, somewhere up until the middle of the map, and then Belgium took everything in their hands. Existence dropping that 28, frags. It was amazing. 30 at the very end. Yeah, exact 30. Huge performance by him.
Yeah, I said it. I mean, yeah, he's mostly known because of his in-game leading, abilities. But all in all, I wouldn't say he's like a bad player. Yeah, in tier 1 against some top fraggers, the mad fraggers in the world, you see the difference. But in this kind of a level, the existence can definitely show up fragging, and he did. 30 frags. I think Toineau had 25, 26.
27, I think.
Yeah, something like that. So, all in all, a great showing by Belgium. I gotta say, I'm kind of disappointed by Iceland. Maybe I praised them too much, but I can at least say that there's 3 or 4 rounds that they lost that they
Should have won.
mustn't lost. I mean, the third one, just that's the one. Yeah, they basically lost to 2 P250s and the Flash.
Yeah.
I mean, that's unacceptable. If I play and I lose that round, I'm furious. I mean, that shouldn't happen.
But we can't say that Iceland played bad. I mean, they showed they have a good team play, but I guess it just wasn't enough against these, better aimers.
Yeah, and I mean, a couple of rounds could have gone in their favor, and with the scoreline 16-10, it could have been even closer, and maybe, who knows, at one point I think they could have broken the economy of Belgium, so it could have been even 16 to 14 for them. So overall, yeah, Belgium just had a better showing today, but Iceland, who knows, they could upset someone.
I would say that Belgium played pretty much okay, play their game, but for Iceland, it's not like they made huge mistakes, but just individually small mistakes that add up and make you lose rounds.
Yeah, those better teams know how to punish those mistakes.
There's a round where Capping gets that double kill from the T-spawn, and they try and go for A, and somehow 5v3 you cannot trade it out. I mean, I don't know how's that possible. And on the other side, I think there was at least one round where Belgium was on the T side, 3v5 or 3v4, just trading, basically trading 3 for nothing in the A side. Because you see the players from Iceland, I just think that it all comes down to, Capping and Cruiser playing together, and then Odge and Ellie playing together in the team. And when you watch them all together, I mean, when you see like those duos, they kind of work together, but all in all, they kind of look disjointed. Yeah. I mean, basically, a couple of times where Belgium gets into the A side, you just see the Iceland players trying to peak all on their own, and they get picked off because, as we said, these are some pretty good fraggers on Belgium's side. And
you mentioned Capping and that he has a good timing, good sense for the game, and we could have seen this here with that double kill with an op, and that I think it was a backstab by him behind the box when he was hidden.
That was like back in the the one on B. He gave them a chance in that round. He gave them a chance in that round. Came to a 1v1. They lost that, but you can't really argue that. I think he was the only one with the gun, so good work there. In the second round, before they lost that horrible third round, he had a backstab on B. So all in all, I'm still looking forward to see him play, but I think this was a lesser Iceland we saw today than the one we saw against
Man of the
Slovenia.
match here.
It's definitely existence, like dropping that ready bomb. I mean, I wanted to touch on that subject. We see here, man of the match existence. Like, there's a couple of like in-game leaders like him, and that's Sean Garris. Sean Garris is one of them, where you don't see his talent, full potential in those matches because, and Pronax, thanks producer. Just because like when they play, they think about the game overall.
Yeah, they have to focus.
And their aim is not the primary thing for them in that moment. But when you see them playing FPL, rank S, even this for your national team, when they're a little bit more looser, you see their real aim power and what they can do when they're just focused on the fragging. And this is what we saw today, like a great game of
Do you think they are more relaxed here and they don't have to think about other players and tactics and stuff? I mean, when compared to the professional team?
Yeah, just because like, I have to say that.
I mean, I kind of disagree. So that's why I'm asking.
No,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, but like, you're playing for your country, and that's all super dandy and all. But you're not practicing every day with these people. You're not in that practice mode, that scrim mode every day. You're practicing with your own team, and what you do with your own team is some kind of accomplishment for you. Yes, of course, this is accomplishment for itself, but I mean, when you're playing with another 4 players every day, you don't really have that. You can't be loose, and when it comes to game time, you have to be on your top level. And if he's in-game leading, he has to be on top level of in-game leading. He can't focus on fragging. That's what I think. Yeah,
your point of view. Okay, let's just quickly see the brackets, see the standings from today's matches. We had France versus Estonia. And Denmark versus Netherlands. France versus Estonia 16-3. Denmark better than Netherlands 16-8 in Group B. We had Russia and Turkey 16-8 in favor of Russia, and in the last match of the day, Belgium versus Iceland 16-10. Tomorrow we have Group C and Group D. Looking forward to see Poland, Sweden, Germany, Finland, and so on. Any quick thought of the day before we close up?
I would just agree with Megaben. It seems like all the favorites won today, no surprises. So we'll see if that trend continues tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, a great showing of all the teams today, especially the favorites to win, and I hope we continue this trend tomorrow.
Okay, guys, thank you for your help today. See you tomorrow.
Yep.
See ya.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching e-frag TV. We'll see you tomorrow at the same time, at the same place, Group C and Group D. Thank you for watching e-frag TV. See you tomorrow. Bye.